Good afternoon, everyone. The Board of Trustees of the Harris County Department of Education is now convened in a regular board meeting on Wednesday, November 19th, 2025 in room 401 at 6300 Irvington Boulevard, Texas at 1:01 p.m. We wish to extend a warm welcome to everyone present at this meeting of the Board of Trustees. As trustees, we are here to set goals, listen to reports from the superintendent, approve budgets, contracts, personnel appointments, and set policy for the district. It is not the role of the board to make day-to-day operational decisions. The management and day-to-day operations of the department are the responsibility of the superintendent. We have policies and procedures in place to resolve concerns and issues. This is a public meeting of the Board of Trustees, not a meeting of the public. Prior to this meeting, board members received information related to items on today's agenda. Agenda items will not necessarily be handled in the order listed on the notice. The meeting is open to all who wish to attend and hear matters discussed. During the course of this meeting, the board may determine that a closed session is necessary. In that event, the board will meet in closed session to consider matters duly posted for this meeting as permitted by section 551.071 to 551.084, inclusive of the Texas Government Code. I respectfully ask that you please refrain from talking while others are speaking and that cell phones are turned off or in silent mode. Thank you for taking time today to join us and for your interest in the Harris County Department of Education. So we will start out with invocation. Dr. Akua Obeng, our research manager for Research and Evaluation Institutes.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to focus today's invocation on the story of Alfred Nobel, the man after whom the Nobel Prize is awarded. In 1888, Alfred Nobel read an obituary about his own death. The obituary was entitled, "The Merchant of Death is Dead." The French newsletters had mistaken his late brother's death for his own death. In the obituary, Alfred was described as this terrible human being that had taken the lives of countless people by producing dynamite. Faced with this harsh truth, Alfred decided, if life has given me another chance, I would like to dedicate my resources and my legacy for the support of knowledge, peace, and the betterment of humanity. So as we all know today, the Nobel Prize. Let us pray. Lord, thank you for today. As we reflect on the transformation of Alfred Nobel, I pray that each one of us will be reminded that we can use our gifts and talents for the service of our students and their families. Whenever we are confronted with our past, help us to understand that our past is a place where our reflections can be turned into our redemption. Let our past remind us that we are instruments for the good of those around us. And if you have given us another opportunity of life, I pray that today's board meeting is greater than any board meeting we've ever had. Amen.
Thank you, Dr. Obeng. Next, we will have the Pledge of Allegiance. Angelica De Leon, who is our Adult Education Program Manager.
Let us pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let us pledge. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Thank you.
We begin today with open forum, and we do have a speaker, Anthony Motz. Welcome.
My name is Anthony Moulton, Dr. Anthony Moulton. I am the founding principal of Fortis Academy. I'm here today because I need your help. I'm here because I need my name cleared. I was watching television the other day, and this Epstein trash came on television, and my auntie looked at me and said, "You need to clear your name." I cannot have my 80-year-old auntie associating me with this kind of nonsense. You understand what I'm saying? So when I was removed, Jonathan Parker, Coward of the Month, said that I had exposed myself to kids. So either two things are true. I'm either innocent or I'm involved in the cover-up, including Mr. James Colbert, Jonathan Parker, and Natasha Truitt. I am supposedly to have exposed myself, pulled my penis out, right, Jonathan? And sit it on the desk, exposed myself to kids, had sex with kids, touched kids, and had sex with staff. So with that, how you doing, Mr. Dick? That's why I left. Here are the conversations I had with Jonathan and the conversations I had with Mr. Colbert and Natasha. You will see clearly that during the investigation, Mr. Parker said that he did not check the cameras, one. And so what I'm asking for is for you guys to open an investigation to the sexual misconduct of the principal of Fortis Academy while I was here. I need for you to take a look at that and clear my name. And there's an easy way to do that. You can ask Joe. Joe brought a guy to my campus who worked with my kids and in an after-school program. He should be able to tell you if there's any nefarious things going on within my school. You should be able to talk to Curtis. I established a program to where kids were coming from the recovery school into records. And, when folks are fired, the streets are hot, right? Kids are talking. So you should ask Curtis if any child has said anything negative about me. Or you can ask Dr. Ned, who sits right there, ask him if anybody said anything negative about me. So you see what that threshold is? I'm saying negative. I'm not even saying inappropriate sexually. I'm just saying negative. Then you can ask the sitting principal what the people said when I left. If there's any truth to any of these allegations that forced me to resign because I was shamed to stand here before you and hear these things said about me. But my aunt caring about me is more important than my pride. Okay, Mr. Colbert. So you already know how it goes. So I expect one or two things to happen. Either clear my name, or I'll be back. The next board meeting is December 17th. I'll be back then. I would expect to have my name cleared or arrested. Because one or two things have happened. I'm either innocent or I'm involved in a sexual cover-up involving kids. Okay, board? Okay? Please clear my name. Again, my name is Dr. Anthony Moulton. Where's the attorney? How you doing? I hadn't seen you in a while, sir. Here it is. I'm going to leave this in your custody. Y'all please take a look at that and get back with me. Again, sexual allegations against the founding principal of Fortis Academy, forced to leave based on these lies perpetrated by Jonathan that Colbert bought. Thank y'all so much. Have a great day.
All right, so we will move on to reports and presentations, and we start with Employee of the Month. Dr. Sylvester.
All right. President Hinojosa, Board of Trustees, Mr. Colbert. Today, we honor Ms. Claudia Flores, a custodian at ABS West, as our November Employee of the Month. Even though Ms. Flores isn't a member of the instructional staff at ABS West, she is a critical part of the greater support team for students. Principal Jatada Hutton said she is a key factor in providing a positive learning environment on campus through consistent and exceptional customer service. We all value the same thing, and that's the kids, Mr. Hutton said. Her dedication to her job and the students the school serves are evident in her daily actions. Ms. Flores is known to support students throughout the day, often redirecting them in the hallways by encouraging them to assist her in various duties. This helps students refocus their energy in a positive way, enhancing the learning environment for everyone at the school. She built relationships with kids, Mr. Hutton said. Ms. Flores loves what she does, and she understands that at the forefront of that are students. She is very multi-dimensional. Our comms team created a short video about Ms. Flores and her work at ABS West.
Every morning at ABS West, custodian Claudia Flores makes sure every hallway and classroom look their best. Her hard work and attention to detail keeps the school bright, spotless, and welcoming.
We have a lot of traffic at ABS West. I serve 25 school districts on campus, and no day is the same. I mean, it's different from the next to the next to the next. It didn't take me long, honestly, to see that she's very good at what she does. Ms. Flores is here early morning if she has to be. She's here throughout the evening and later into the night, just to make sure that when we come back the next day, when we leave this place, it's one that's welcoming, it's clean, and it's a safe space for our students and our special learners.
So what do you do?
She's really embedded into the school community, just not with keeping it clean, but just being someone the kids are familiar with. They respond well to her, and she's able to, integrate herself in that way.
I like to talk with the student, and some of them like me, and right here is different. You have to be more patient with the students, and you have to understand every single problem from them.
Come on, take it to Claudia.
Claudia has a sense of humor. She's very quiet. She comes across as very soft-spoken, but she has a sense of humor. So she said, "Jefe, I have a problem." And when she said that, she's laughing. I said, "Okay, is it really a problem, or are you being funny?" She said, "No, it's a problem." And so I walk in, and the classroom, the kids had taken coloring pencils and had a little art session. So it was in a matter of 30 to 45 minutes. And she said, "Come see what I did." And when I went back, she and Elsa had taken care of the whole floor. When you walk in this building, you may see it smelling good, glowing, looking good, sparkling. Her initiative and her drive and the energy she brings to just making sure that she does a first-class job.
Don't matter what kind of job you have to do your best every day, and that's what I try to do. I know I'm doing my best.
You want to recognize folks for what they do. You want people to feel appreciated for what they do. And so I want to be able to do that, on this stage, to say, "Hey, Claudia, we appreciate you. We're glad Ms. Flores is a part of ABS West."
I'm pleased to introduce to you Ms. Claudia Flores, November 2025 Employee of the Month. Congratulations.
All right, next is Superintendent Monthly Report. Mr. Colbert.
Thank you. A couple of things to update the board on. We've had a lot of activity over the past few days. Last week on Friday, we had our first golf tournament for the Education Foundation at Top Golf. During that event, which was fantastic, and I say it was fantastic, you'll understand why here in a second, but we had 124 people RSVP. We had 104 participants, 18 sponsors, 17 teams. In total, we made a total profit of $30,000 in one day. So let's give a hand for that. Now, I must tell you, there was only one team that could win this entire competition. Only one. There were many teams there, but there could only be one that would be champion. Did you know the name of that team was called Varsity? Yeah. You could probably imagine who was on it. I'm proud to announce that HCDE was able to win the team trophy, which was a fantastic trophy that was put together by some students at Stafford ISD, or Stafford MCD. Did I say that right? MCD? Municipal School District. So that was excellent. Also, last week, I had an opportunity to speak to a new program that we have. We're doing a leadership academy for our Head Start that's called Rising Stars Leadership Academy. And I had an opportunity to be one of the guest speakers of that, to talk about leadership with several of the applicants or the participants with that academy. And we're going to be using this academy to try to foster new leadership in our Head Start campuses, and it's got a lot of momentum. I also had a chance to do a leadership presentation at Hayes ISD, where I did a presentation on leadership ethos to about 55 participants out there. We have, if you look at your desk, we've got cards for you. We've got several events coming up. We have 2 holiday receptions. The first will be December 10th, and that will be at NPO, and also one December 17th, which will be here. So please, mark your calendars for that. We also have the board recognition reception, which will be in January when we come back from Christmas break. And this is where we take an opportunity to thank y'all for your all the time that you volunteer for HCDE. You will find that you have another lapel pin that was created by Dr. Amesqua and his team. Amesqua has blind luck. He just happened to have a super cool looking pen. It looks like a little sheriff's pen, but it's really nice. And it looks like it's bronze, but he's real proud of that. So have that. Now, final thing I will say is that we have our holidays coming up, and pretty soon here we'll all have a chance to take some time off and be with our family. I would just encourage everybody that as you're doing that, to please be safe and take care of yourselves. And I hope everybody has a happy holiday. With that, that's all I have.
Thank you, Superintendent Colbert. We will move on to the Research and Evaluation Institute. They are here for the annual division update.
Okay, good afternoon. Can you all hear me?
Yes,
Good
ma'am.
afternoon, President Hinojosa, Board of Trustees, Superintendent Colbert, and General Counsel. Thank you all for having me today. I am Yolanda Pirtle, the Director of Research and Evaluation, and I am here to give our annual update. I would like to start off by introducing my team. If you would please stand. Yes. This is a group of dedicated professionals whose diverse skills and collaboration drive outstanding results. When I say your name, please give us a wave. Dr. Akuo Bain, Rosemary Pacheco, Lakita Holmes, Tracy Yeager, Jonathan Kandakar, Dr. Jesus Campos, and Ansa Usmani. Thank you all for your hard work and dedication. So who are we and why do we exist? We are REI, and we are a support division that empowers HCDE and other educational entities to make informed decisions by delivering high-quality, relevant data and insights. And we do this through 5 main deliverables. We have our annual reports, our data dashboards, data sharing events, program evaluations, and of course, research. And I'll take you on a journey through each one of those. I'll start with our annual reports. We have our accountability reports that captures how divisions measure their service delivery their service delivery goals, outcome goals, and financial effectiveness. We work with 20 divisions to track this data throughout the year, and at the end of the year, we give them a report to determine how well they did throughout the year. We also capture the annual service delivery numbers We capture this monthly, and then at the end of the year, we work with 16 external divisions to come up with the number of the individuals served from our organization. Just last year, we served over 200,000 individuals. This includes 191,000 students, 26,000 educators, and over 4,000 support clients. We also get other reports or requests. I'm sorry, let me start over. We also do other reports upon request, and we do this in a timely manner. One of our big initiatives was to release our data dashboards, and these dashboards provide data insights to divisions in real time. We started this initiative back in 21, 22, right out of COVID. And since then, we have grown the number of dashboards that we are creating for not only ourselves, but our divisions and even HCDE. In 24, we produced a number of 27 dashboards. We moved up to 28 in 2025. But with only 3 months in 2026, we have already produced 25 dashboards. And there's a reason for that. We are trying to move away from paper reports with our surveys to a more digitized visualization with the dashboards. This gives divisions access to their data instantly in real time, and they're able to make decisions accordingly. So we expect that number to grow by the end of 2026 school year. We also host data sharing events. This is where we meet with our divisions to help them go through their data. Again, we're moving away from the paper, so they mainly get their data within a dashboard on their laptops. They can also look on their phones, and we help them decipher that data, go through that data by hosting data days or data share events. We also go out and share our expertise within the community. We have been invited to present at various professional development opportunities. And within these presentations, we might share how to track data effectively and how to do research effectively. The past year we did around 4 different professional development presentations. A big one for us is program evaluations. These are when we collect the quantitative and qualitative data, and we put that again, we assess the outcomes and put that in a report, and we provide recommendations based on what we're seeing within those reports. Some big heavy hitters that use our program evaluation services are Head Start, Case for Kids, Center for Educator Success Teacher Certification Program, and our very own civic engagement program, Your Voice Matters. I will also say that we also provide surveys to different divisions based on any event they have, and we also provide that feedback for them as well. And last but not least is our research. We conduct research based on the recent trends within education. For example, this past year we did AI in education, some teacher certification trends, and we looked at benefits of after-school programs. The research team was even invited out to the Southwest Educational Research Association meeting to share some of their findings with other educational researchers. We are also working on a 5-year community assessment update for 3 of our Head Start grantees within the area. That includes Avance, Baker Ripley, and HCDE. And what we do is we assess the community that these Head Starts are serving. We gather that information and give that back to the organization so they can adjust their services accordingly. So some of the trends that we're noticing, because we're doing a big push of these dashboards, we are getting requests from divisions to do more dashboards, to turn their surveys and data into real-time insights so they don't have to wait on us for paper reports. They can automatically go in and look at their data. We also want to help divisions leverage their internal data, so the data they already have. We want to help them use that to highlight the great things that they're doing within their divisions. And then last but not least, original research studies. We just This year, we were approved through our IRB, our Institutional Review Board, to do our first original research under me, and that is the teacher's perceptions of a well-rounded early childhood experience. We're excited about that because we're going out and interviewing and doing surveys with early childhood teachers within the county. And hopefully out of that, we'll get some feedback that we can share with the county and especially our divisions here. And with that, what questions do you have?
I'd just like to say and compliment you and your division for how good of a job y'all have done. You know, one of the things that our research department does is that they can also respond and deliver to any request that's made of them. And for a while now, I've been really wanting like a heat map of all the student performance in the entire county, where I can just look at a map and it can populate math scores and English scores and science scores, and then even trim that down to specific campuses and what have you, just so we could better identify how we might be able to support our ISDs. Our team has done a phenomenal job of learning how to master dashboards. And I don't know if you've seen what that looks like. I think we've had a couple examples, but it's almost like you can craft and mold any kind of dashboard to help you filter and populate data. This stuff's extremely important for us because accountability is changing at a lightning speed. School districts are searching and seeking solutions, and we need to make decisions that are data-driven, not based on assumptions or opinions or just feelings. And so that is the section of Harris County Department of Ed that does that for us, that objectifies things that we may suspect. So I appreciate your leadership and your team, and I've seen y'all's growth, and I wish to continue seeing it, and I'll come up with some more tasks for y'all in the future.
Okay. Thank you.
Trustee Dugan?
Oh,
Hi.
hi.
Thank you for your presentation. It's
sure.
very informative. I'm really interested in hearing about the results of the research that you mentioned you're going to be putting on. Can you tell me, off the top of your head, anything about the scope and parameters? Is this countywide? Are we
Yes, so
honing in
we're
on?
reaching out to all of the ISDs within Harris County. We've reached out to some of the charter schools as well, and even some of the private early childhood. So it's countywide, it is.
And specific grades?
We are doing pre-K to second grade.
Okay. I'm very interested in seeing that.
Okay,
Thank you so
awesome.
much.
Yes.
I'll talk loud. So like the cutting edge type of stuff with data is using Python. Do we utilize Python? What platforms do we utilize with Python?
Yeah, so even I remember you mentioned a little about R and Python last year.
That's
so
right.
we actually looked into it this year.
Good start.
We have a few of our teammates actually using Python and R with this. But we also have SPSS, and then Qualtrics. It has a system that does data analysis as well. So yes,
So-
thank you for your tips from last year.
Now it's got sharper. So
Okay, yeah.
where they're at now is Google Colab. That's a Python platform.
Okay.
And that's kind of the big one is Google Colab. So I would look at that. You don't have to upload all the libraries as much. It's a easier platform that just kind of connects.
Okay.
The other thing is you can utilize AI and coding
Yes,
and all
absolutely.
that. The best one to utilize is Claude, but you'd get it through ChatGPT and Grok. So you'd want to utilize your AI platforms to assist you in coding on the Python or R, but I think Python's where it's going. And Google Colab is where it's at. So cheers.
Okay. We'll look into that as well. Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next annual division update is from Adult Education.
Good afternoon, President Hinojosa, board members, Mr. Colbert, and Council Langlois. My name is Eduardo Honnold. I'm the Senior Director for Adult Education, and it is my pleasure to give you the overview for the Adult Education Division. But first, I would like to introduce amazing members of the adult education team, please stand up and be recognized. I'd like to first recognize the management team, which provides the leadership for the division in providing educational services to adults in the Harris County and Liberty counties. We have 160 employees, so I'm not going to go through the entire list. But I do want to recognize some of the key positions that we have in terms of implementing a student-centered curriculum, providing professional development and wraparound services for our students. But I also want to recognize the heart and soul of our division, which are the teachers and support staff that work directly with the teachers, with the students, and who are working with them on a day-to-day basis and making a direct impact on our students' lives. Let me start out with our enrollment. This year was the first year that we've been working with as a direct grantee from the Texas Workforce Commission. For the past 10 years, we were a provider for a consortium of programs in the Houston area. So going out on our own, there was some doubts as to whether we could do it, but we had no doubts. We knew that the Adult Education Division was ready for the challenge, and in its first year as a grantee, we served 6,669 students. That's 1,000 more than we served in our previous year under the consortium, and we're very excited about our ability to stand up to the challenge of being a new grantee. This year, in the first 4 months of this program year, as you can see, we are experiencing some challenges. We had a late start in our federal funding, a delay in our federal funding, and we've also had some challenges in terms of our eligibility for our students that are required now to have citizenship and immigration status in order to be allowed to participate in the program. But we're still expecting to serve, at the end of the year, approximately 5,700 students. What we do, we offer a variety of services in the Adult Education Division, ranging from ESL classes to GED prep classes to vocational certification classes for adults. Traditionally, over 60% of these services have been for English language learners for ESL classes. This year, we expect a reduction in the number of students that are being served through those ESL classes, but we're planning to increase our enrollment for GED and vocational classes. And we expect to serve 1,800 GED students and 780 vocational students, an increase from the previous year. We continue to rely on a strong network of partners, from school districts to colleges to churches to nonprofit organizations, who provide us with the space to have our classes in the community. But we're also taking full advantage of our new Adult Education Learning Center, which served 1,300 students last year alone and hosted over 50 events for HCDE in the community. HCDE continues to rely on online classes, which accounted for over 40% of our students. 60% of our students have participated in face-to-face classes, but 40% do it through online classes. But we're also taking full advantage of technology in distance learning. And up to 23% of the hours that our students have participated in are gathered or garnered through self-guided distance learning. So where distance learning is providing students the opportunity to extend their learning, but also to improve their digital learning skills and become digital citizens as well. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to performance. And last year, we exceeded expectations from the state of Texas and from the Texas Workforce Commission, with 47% of our students achieving a measurable skill gain. So basically, a gain either by obtaining a GED, making progress towards a vocational certification, or making a gain on a state test. That exceeded the state standard of the state target of 39% by 8 percentage points, and it exceeded last year's, the previous year's performance. This year, we expect 50% of our students to make some kind of measurable skill gain in progress towards their educational goals. One of the ways we're going to do that is by improving our GED attainment. What you've seen here is our progression in GEDs over the years. Last year, 24-25, we reached our record of 279 GED graduates for the year. That's an increase of 104 students compared to the previous year. This year, we're aiming for 300. The other part of our strategy, performance strategy, is to continue to bolster our workforce certification program. Here you see some of the certification programs that we currently have, and it is our plan to continue expanding those to this year to 750 vocational students, and we hope that the vast majority of them will be obtaining their certifications and moving on to employment by the end of the year. So to summarize, we exceeded all of our TWC enrollment and performance targets for the program year 24-25. We increased our GED graduates by 104 to 279. We had 441 students achieve vocational progress towards their vocational certifications, and we had 140 students participate in signing day events that were employers, 17 employer partners offered them jobs as a result of their completing their training. So we're very excited about these results, and we expect that we will continue to improve this year in providing those gains and those performance for our students. Some of the trends that we see are in the future is some of the challenges. We could continue to see a trend towards increased vocational training. Vocational training is increasingly seen in the community here in the Houston area, but across the country as a way out of poverty, as a way out of limited economic circumstances. And that's why we continue to plan to increase our vocational offerings and the number of vocational students that we serve. We're focusing on the areas where the jobs are, basically healthcare and the trades. And we're expecting that these jobs are the ones that are going to be hopefully less affected by AI and by the impact of AI. We do have some uncertainty still in federal funding. Hopefully the federal government will make up its mind as to what's going to happen to adult education in the next year. And we are coping with the changes in eligibility and immigration requirements. And we're beginning to take advantage of some of the benefits that AI can provide for our students in terms of lesson planning, in terms of personalizing education for our students. And we continue to emphasize digital learning, career navigation, and wraparound services for all of our students to improve their gains and to continue moving forward with their education and their life goals. That's the end of my report. Are there any questions?
Can you tell me what documents are required to prove U.S. citizen status?
Absolutely. The easiest document for students to provide is a real Texas ID. In other words, either a driver's license or or just an ID. As long as they can provide that, that is typically the easiest way. If they don't have that, then there's a whole list of other documents that they can provide, including a birth certificate, a passport, or specific immigration documents that that indicate that they are here legally and that they have a permanent status immigration status.
Okay. And have you found that there have been any barriers? So like if somebody doesn't have a car, they don't drive, they take the bus, so they don't have a real ID. Have you found that actually going to go request a birth certificate or a passport has been a significant barrier for the students?
We have not found that.
Okay.
People who do not have a real ID typically do have a birth certificate, then we can use that. Or if they have an immigration status and they have the specific paperwork for their immigration status, they can use that as well. So that has not been a significant barrier.
Thank you. Superintendent Colbert or Dr. McGee?
Yes. Thank you, Madam President, members of the board. Thank you, Dr. Great presentation. Continue to do a great job in providing adult education services. I was going to ask quickly along those same lines, did something change? Are there new federal requirements? Was there an executive order that impacted our ability to provide services?
Yes, absolutely. Beginning July 10th, there was a new interpretation of a federal law. It's the Personal Responsibility Act of 1993, but the federal government provided a new interpretation of the law. And the law basically now treats adult education as a benefit, pretty much like you would treat SNAP or some of the other economic benefits that people can receive.
Superintendent?
I would just like to say, first of all, a great presentation, and I appreciate your leadership and your entire staff. Adult ed has gone through some things. I just find it ironic, really, when we thought we were on, hitting an arc and opening up a building, how much we would need to defend it. And so it's a program that is absolutely essential to helping people be productive citizens to our society. It is what we as public educators are all about, and it's worth fighting for. And so, in having said that, there's some things we don't control, but what we do control is how we support one another and us trying to be savvy and smart and navigate the things that we care about to protect them. And so Harris County Department of Ed is in the process, the cusp of doing that, and it's not easy. Fortunately, we have good leadership, we have good people, and we do great things for people. We have a genuine purpose and a mission, and for that reason, we're righteous. And so we're going to stick with that. But we don't know what's around the corner. We need to be prepared for whatever. And I can also say that there have been many adult ed programs throughout the state, if not the country, who aren't a part of something greater like Harris County Department of Ed, who didn't survive the pause. And so when the funding got put on pause, you fell back on your brother. And Harris County Department of Ed was there to hold you up until they got unpaused. And so, just know, I want you to know that, I want your people to know that it's something that myself and this board absolutely values. And we're going to do everything in our power to not only protect our program, but to continue to help the citizens of this county be productive citizens to our society, regardless of what happens. And I don't know what that looks like. I'm only articulating my values and efforts. So with that, I appreciate you, sir.
Thank you. Do we have any reports from board members concerning attendance or participation in a board or HCDE-related event? Nothing? And any board committee reports? Seeing none, we will move on to the monthly financial reports with Dr. Mesqua.
Okay.
It's okay. That's what you told him, it's okay?
It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay.
Clear the room. These are the financial highlights as October 31st, presented in November 19. All our information is posted on our website.
And this is the summary highlights for the month of October. Taxes are still statements being mailed out, so we only had $682 in revenue this month. Our next payment is on February for our debt service payment. Revenues are at 10% and expenditures are 19 in the general fund, 35 million in equity or fund balance, 14,426 in donations for the month of October, and values continue. We're projected 688 billion. Choice, the benefit variance is 1.8 million for this month, and foundation equity is at 233,000. The small business report, we're at 31% for the month of October. Irvington is at 99%, and we're just pending the closeout of one project so that all of 2020 would be completed. And we have an arbitrage payment. If you remember, we talked about interest when we earn more interest than we actually paying out. So our payment will be 101,000. We were able to reduce it from 281,000. And so this is a minimal payment, which is interest that we just basically made over the period. We did have the Pinnacle Award, and we have the two statues there here for HCDE. This is the second time that we received that. So this was for the Coolwood Head Start program. Yes, it'll be. And since then, we received the ASBO Award and the GFOA Award, and we submitted for two that we should receive those in December from TASBO. So it was for purchasing and then financial management. So we'll wait for those for the month of December. The balance sheet, we're at 39 million in assets, 1.9 million in liabilities, and 36 million in equity. And our projected fund balance for the first month as of October, 36.2 million, of which we have negative 81,980, because for the month of September, October, November, and part of December, we use the fund balance to operate because we don't have the taxes that are coming in. In terms of our indicators, and keep in mind, this is only the second month, so the numbers are going to look a little bit funny because it's not all the data, it's only 2 months out of the year. The percentage of unfunded unassigned balance is 247 versus 274 last year. Working capital strong at 37 million. We were at 30 million last year. And on assigned fund balance, we were at 64 versus 88 last year at the same time. Debt to income ratio, because we don't make a payment this month until February, it's at 0 right now. And this is our debt, total combined debt. We have debt service of 82.2 million for the department. Current revenue, again, this is just because we have not received any of the tax receipts, so we'll start getting those in the month of December. Indirect cost ratio, we're at 0.2 versus 4.1 that were a year ago, so we're in the process of getting and submitting some of the drawdowns so that we can start getting some of that indirect cost. Our fee-for-service ratio has gone up to 51% now, to 15. Again, we continue to get additional revenues and contracts, so our growth has turned around with a lot of our special schools and other divisions, so that you're going to see that a rebound year for the Department of Ed. Budget amendments, last month we had one for Duratech change order, and we don't have any amendments for this month. Inflows we have, again, I mentioned 10%, and outflows we have 19% in terms of our expenses, and our donations were 14,426. Most of them were for choice, a lot of the vendors' activity that they had, and also Head Start as well. And our values, again, holding at 688 billion when we started, so this is just the second month, so we'll see how we progress throughout the fiscal year. Again, we have not received any of our revenues this month, so we'll start seeing that in the month of December, so you can start seeing a lot of activity here in collection, which actually we'll report January for the month of December. So in December, you still probably won't see much there until the month of January. Same last year, 0% collection because we haven't, again, the statements were just sent out. Our disbursement, $4 million for the month, 324 transactions, 790 P-card, and 6 transfers processed. And then the first month, we have benefit variance of educator success at $360,000, records management $237,000, school-based therapy $1,058,000, and schools of $1,825,000 on the positive side. And then choice partners, the benefit variance is $1,877,000 for the first 2 months cumulative from since its inception here for the fiscal year. No budget amendments for the month. Equity in the foundation is $233,000, and in the PFC we still have the business, small business for construction report, of which we have the information. We have 31%, which is a small business divided by the total business. Again, 31% for the month of cumulative from September 1 to October 31st. In terms of our construction, we have a total CIP balances of $1,430,000. The majority is the maintenance notes. The PFC is pretty much already extinguished, and you'll see the majority in the maintenance notes. And we have some retainers that on the Walker retainers that are still pending to be paid. And then, as I mentioned, we have a calculation, $101,819, that we will have to make prior to January. That's when it's due. So we will accrue it at the end of December. But this number was $281,000. We were able to reduce that down to only $101,000. So again, this is revenue that we had projected and we had reserved in our fund balance for this likelihood. Again, the maintenance notes will be now the next. So 5 years from now, in 2009, that's when you'll have to do the calculation and be able to review whether there be an arbitrage that needs to be done in 2009. I'm sorry, 29. I'm going backwards here. 2029, yes, thank you. All right, we'll fix that. Yes, there we go. Yeah, 5 years, again, it's every 5 years that you have to do the calculation. Again, we have Durotech 341 in retainage, and we have our maintenance notes that are available in the maintenance notes. So going forward, a lot of these schedules are going to be, because the 2020 is pretty much finished, so you're only going to see the 2024 projects being reported to you because that's the only bond issue that is left over. One item that is on the agenda for later on is the budget planning for the fiscal year 26-27, and so that is included in your agenda for approval, and so that kind of begins the next. We're finishing up 25-26 and now beginning transition to 26-27. And that's the report for the month of October. What questions do you have? Okay, then the next one is the investments. Again, the Federal Reserve did make a change, 25 basis points down on the Fed funds. And so now the target is between 3.25% and 4%. We project that number is going to go to 3.5% here by next month. And so that's the projection so far. So this is the yield curve. As you can start seeing, this number will continue to go down, and so the yield curve become a little more steep on the latter years. But let me get to this one. So that's where you're going to see where the Fed funds are going to end up, somewhere around 3% here for the next 2 years. As I go through that, our Investments as of August 31st are 47.1 million. Still only 104,000 in Public Facilities Corporation. And then we have all our monies in Lone Star, Chase, Texas Class, Texas Star, and TexPool. As we start getting our tax money, they're all going to go into TechStar, and so you'll start seeing this number go up over time. Especially the month of December and January, you'll see that number go up. This is the PFC, 104,000 on the Bank of Texas. And then difference from a year ago, 3.3 million or 7% difference from last year. And all our funds are overnight at this point in time, and we're making 326,000 for the first 2 months. We're in projection that we're going to end up a little over a million, 300,000, 3.6 in terms of interest received for the year. PFC, 2,502, and so we're earning about 4.1 on our investments. And so as you can see here, the progression of the interest rates as they started coming down, and you'll see continuing to come down here, probably around 3 to 3.5% here in the next 2 months. That's the investment report. Any questions that you may have? Thank you.
Okay, moving on to consensus action items. Does anybody have any items that they would like to pull? Okay, so seeing none, do I have a motion? Moved by Trustee McGee, seconded by Trustee Dick. Any discussion? All right, all in favor to approve the action items, the consensus action items? Motion passes 5-0. For our non-consensus items, we start with 7.1, consider approval of the proposed annual budget calendar for fiscal year 2026 and 27. Do I have a motion? Motion by Trustee McGee, seconded by Trustee Dick. Any discussion? Trustee McGee?
I did. Thank you, Madam President. Just ensuring that there is a place on the calendar for budget, for the board priorities, for the board to identify its priorities.
Go ahead. Yes.
We're planning actually to have like a retreat in January, February to discuss that. We'll have like a special call board meeting or something when we're doing that. I've already spoken to Jessica to get that on the calendar.
Any other questions? Okay. Do you have a motion? Well, wait. Yeah, do you have a motion? Oh, we already did the motion. Okay. All in favor? Motion passes 5-0. Okay, second. 7.2, consider approval for new FTE special school certified teacher position. Do I have a motion? Motion by Trustee Dick, seconded by Trustee Silky. And do we have any discussion? No discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 5-0. 7.3, consider ratification of amendment number 2 for services agreement between the Center of Educator Success and Concilium Professional Services to increase the amount from $44,000 to $114,872 for the existing period of 09/1/2025 through 08/31/2026. Do I have a motion? Motion by Trustee Silky, seconded by Trustee Dick. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 5-0. 7.4, consider approval of submission of governance leadership and oversight capacity certification requirements. Do I have a motion? Motion by Trustee Dick, seconded by Trustee McGee. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 5-0. 7.5, consider approval of submission of certification of compliance with health and safety requirements. Do I have a motion? Motion by Trustee Silky, seconded by Trustee Dick. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes 5-0. 7.6, consider approval of annual renewal affiliation agreement between Harris County Department of Education and Head Start and Arizona College of Nursing. Do I have a motion? Motion by Trustee McGee, seconded by Trustee Dick. Any discussion? What is this? I'd like to know what it is. Curious.
Yes, to allow nurses to come in when they start their classes, and the nurses are doing their training to come, for them to be able to come to the Head Start centers, and the nurses work with the
I
kids
love
in the
that.
classroom.
That's great. All right. All right, all in favor? Motion passes 5-0. And with that, we'll move to executive session under the Texas Government Code pursuant to any and all purposes permitted by sections 551.001 through 551.084, including but not limited to 551.071 and 551.074. And we move to executive session at 2:01.
We're back. It is 2:45 PM. We're back from executive session. Do we have a motion?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. I move to delegate authority to the superintendent and his designee to negotiate a possible real property purchase as discussed in closed session, but not including executing any purchase and sale agreement.
Thank you, Trustee McGee. Do we have a second? Second by Trustee Silky. Do we have any discussion? Seeing no discussion, let's put it for a vote. Unanimous vote. Okay, no, it's not a motion to adjourn. So. I'm okay. I'm just waiting for people to be done with talking so I can talk, be respectful. So does any other board member have anything they'd like to discuss in future board meetings? None? Okay. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Okay, so moved by Trustee Duhan. Do I have a second? Second. Okay, let's put it for a second. Let's put it for a vote. All in favor? We are adjourned at 2:46 PM.